Welcome back. BlackCube is a nomadic and experimental art museum right here in Denver. And they break the boundaries that surround traditional art, and they really push the limits of creativity. Courtney Lane Stell, their executive director, is here with all the details on their show, The Fulfillment Center. It was voted one of Denver's best art exhibitions, which is great to hear. So thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So what is BlackCube all about? What makes this so unique? It sounds pretty fascinating to me.
We're a very unique nonprofit contemporary art organization. Most museums that you think of are in a traditional building. They're in a white cube, so to say. Yeah. So art functions in a really important way because it's in this sterile, sort of purified environment where people can have contemplative experiences. Right. But conversely, what we do is we put art in places where it relates to the context. So we're hoping to diversify the field of contemporary art and create meaningful connections to location and site.
And some of the exhibitions around town we were talking about during the break, you said there's a giant chicken in the library, and you've got some different pieces popping up. You use large racks to display art. Let's talk about that.
So this exhibition that's at our new headquarters is called the Fulfillment Center, and we charged 18 artists to relate to e-commerce and logistics because we wanted to look at the role and function of the warehouse today. For example, e-commerce is really driving our lives. We can order anything through these desire machines, our computers, and they arrive at our doorstep, and we're not necessarily contemplating the implications of behind the scenes.
Right, where it even came from.
Logistics, source, all of that.
Right.
So this exhibition charged artists to think about that in different ways. And that's one reason why it's really unique. And these racks kind of look like traditional storage units that you might see at Costco or a place like that. We painted them white to relate to more exhibition or display space.
Oh, I love the idea of giving an artist a concept and saying, do whatever you want with it, right? Stay within these very loose boundaries, because it looks like a beautiful display that's been put together and totally unique. It doesn't look like a traditional museum at all.
Thanks.
So what really inspired you to talk about topics like e-commerce and logistics? Because that's not something I would typically match up with more traditional art exhibitions around town.
Yeah, I think contemporary art plays a really important role at this point in time because it helps us digest and reflect on the world around us. And especially as society is becoming more information-based, where we can Google anything at the drop of a hat, we're really relying on information what other people are telling us. And by producing exhibitions that relate to the world today, we're hoping to make people more curious and to develop their own thoughts. So I think that's why it's really important.
Yeah, keep the conversation going. After people check the exhibit out, maybe bring it up in conversation when you're just sitting around the house.
Totally.
What has the response been like? You were one of the most popular art exhibits and exhibitions in 2019. Why are people so drawn to it?
Well, I think they're very drawn to it because it's very forward-looking. It's, you know, an exhibition type that you have not seen in this part of the world. It might be a type of exhibition you'll see in a more developed contemporary art scene. So I think locals and artists are very excited about that. Also, we had, you know, Denver Post gave us Best of 2019. Thanks, Ray Rinaldi. And we've had a much broader response, people that may not seek out contemporary art exhibitions. And I think it's been really interesting to see folks be curious and surprised at what art can look like and how it can be displayed.
Yeah, and the fact that it can be nomadic and move around, right? Yeah,
that's a really important aspect of the work we do because most museums are geographic, like city centers, they're based on buildings. And we think that's great and wonderful, but there can also be other ways that museums run. So moving around locally, nationally, and internationally is part of our program.
Working the element of surprise into the art, even where it's popping up. I love that. So the exhibition is only open until February 14th. So talk about the public hours. If this is really calling out to people, we want to let them know exactly where they can find it.
It's super restricted. So if you're interested, we're open on Fridays from 11 to 3 p.m. And there's 2 more Fridays left. So please come. It's free and open to the public. That's part of our program as a nonprofit. We really want to be as accessible as possible.
Okay, well, we can't wait to see what you guys come up with next. I'm sure it's going to be equally creative and exciting. So as far as more info, where can we learn more about you?
Our website is BlackCube.art. The .art domain name is a little unique, so I try to be really clear about that.
I like that. I'm over .com. Let's just use .art. Well, that
Heck
is great. Thank you so much for being here today, and best of luck on your last 2 Fridays.
Thank you.
The Fulfillment Center was voted one of Denver's best art exhibitions of 2019, so don't miss out on this one. You can check it out now through Valentine's Day. That's February 14th. For more information on BlackCube Nomadic Art Museum, upcoming events and exhibitions, or how you can get involved, just visit their website at BlackCube.art.